Hey there, YouTubers. I'm your content streamer, Dan Patrick McLaughlin, showcasing how to make veal meatballs after I just got done with the meat grinder. If you can see behind me, I think it's there in the picture. No, it's not. It's sitting in my sink and I'm letting it soak. I just went in there and cranked out at least, I don't even know, a pound of veal. Not all of it got grounded into beef or ground beef, but I chose veal because there's less of a fat cap on it and it's more lean. I'm going to show you how to roll some meatballs. I don't put any breadcrumb or any seasoning in mine. That's what some restaurants do. This is one meatball. Some of it is ground beef. That's the one that's like pounded pretty much. I don't have a scale right now, but we're just gonna cup our hand on the bottom, press it, just leave a little bit of room to press in your fingers. Move it around in the palm of your hand. Lean protein, it's a complete protein. Veal is found on just about most farms. It's a baby cow that gets butchered and or slaughtered, butchered, and used for consumption by us. It's a great dish to have when you want to impress someone, but usually, you know, I told you all in my last video it's Italian night, and one of my siblings, my extended family, my aunt, she makes these meatballs with veal, pork, and some chicken? Veal, pork, and beef. These are not like her meatballs. You know, if I wanted to, I can add breadcrumb, garlic powder, salt and pepper, and some dry herbs, and mix it in there, and even add a little bit of egg to make it moist. But these are going into my sauce. I don't know how many I'm gonna get, but I want to make them as round as I can get them and as sphere as I can. Now, let me get it in the picture here. There, maybe move it back more. Start from the F4. Like I said, I got a pound here maybe, and maybe less. But this is what the beef looks like after using the grinder. It's probably like 60-40 what I got, what's grounded. That was the most labor intensive thing I ever done with something culinary related. I highly recommend getting a mechanical or robotic meat grinder. The one that you have by hand, it takes a lot more time. It's a lot of mess. And one of my YouTube viewers commented, she said that it's a messy process. And you know what? The mess I had to clean on my table and how the juice was everywhere, I'm still not done cleaning it. I'm just disappointed that I add something so messy to my kitchen. This is what I like to call maybe like bad meat to use, but we're not going to take it without salvaging the pieces that are good. And it's, yeah, that's not good. Maybe we can just throw it in the sauce for flavor and skim it out. You know, I'm not sure if anyone goes the extent that I'm going to make meatballs. You have to buy them in the store if they're pre-made and like potentially frozen. You can find them at a specialty select grocery store in your area. I'm not gonna comment on which ones you can go to because I don't want to advertise those without having to be like monetized. But shout out to the ones that supply fresh veal and giving me the opportunity to showcase making meatballs. Meatballs, you know, most people think meatballs. What do you think about them? Do you think they're Italian? Do you think they're Swedish, Turkish? You know, they could have a derivative from your country's or your family's origin. Like if you have a recipe in mind, do you use ground beef? Do you use choice, prime, or select? Do you have a tendency to go for the more lean or more fatty ground beefs? Or do you do what I do and you make ground veal meatballs and you know, make them to size and throw them in the sauce. Like, how do you make your meatballs at home? Is it one of those things that just come across as you make them as, you know, Sunday night rolls around and you want to make something wholesome and you want to be productive with your time and you start making stuff from scratch? You know, I like to be productive and showcase my brilliance about, you know, just being able to remodel all the skills I've acquired and make stuff for my girl. And she's a chef too. She works at a brewery, and it's one of those things that they don't really make stuff from scratch over there, and they rather use processed. And everybody has their tit for tat, but if you know me by now, I'm one of those guys that have to make something from scratch to show y'all the best way of making something to be sustainable for your family, and like showing the true origin of what YouTube should be for food recipes. And I like watching a couple stations on YouTube that revolve around food, and I like to mastermind my own videos that stream content for y'all and make them in a timely manner that y'all be able to reflect on these and rewind them and like and subscribe and learn more when content gets broadcasted. Do you have any recipes you want to share about your, you know, your lean meat or your fatty meats? Do you prefer to do 90-10 or a 80-20? And this meat is very lean. Like I said, it has some fat to it, but that's in the marbling. The marbling is what shows in between the fat, or in between. It's like the fat in between the cut of meat. You know, I barely see any fat on here, but what I'm gonna show you what I can do. Fat is flavor, and I'm using some of the fat here for flavor. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 meatballs, and I'm gonna drop them into my red sauce, which not really that far from the camera, but we can see that it's being dropped in the pot. And this was warmed up. I'm not dropping it into a cold sauce. It was almost simmering by the time I started this video, and I turned it off so I can show y'all. It's gonna be cooked in the meat sauce, or the red sauce, and it's gonna go covered, low and slow. And this is how you take gloves off in the industry, and you throw them in the garbage. This sauce I'll bring to the camera, show y'all this masterpiece. It's about maybe a gallon or a half a gallon, or maybe 3/4 of a gallon, you know. It smells fantastic. I had a neighbor come by and she said it smelled delicious. And it's going on the lowest setting possible, and we're gonna cover it. And we're gonna make some spaghetti to make a taste of Italy. So when you all get an education like this, it is priceless, and I hope that I was here to help you be more well-rounded and stay on the track to being sustainable and productive in your kitchen, and showcasing some wholesome ingredients and making magnificent dishes. If y'all like it, give it a like on the button and subscribe. Appreciate it. Have a nice evening. Take care. Speak to y'all soon.